Birmingham City this morning have announced the official retain list for the upcoming 25-26 championship season. Firstly, Grant Hanley and Myung-Jae Lee, who both joined the club back in January on a contract until the end of the season, have both been released. I thought Hanley might have been given a contract given his record with getting promoted out of the championship. And also I expected something from the Lee deal as well. He played pretty decently in the games that I saw him. Particularly away against Stevenage as well. But they've hardly played all season, and that back four's been immovable for most of the season, so it makes sense not to renew their contract if you're not going to play them. Loanees Luke Harris, Ben Davis and Kieran Dowell have also been returned to their parent clubs. I don't expect Luke Harris to come back. I think it's mostly just because of the competition ahead of him, Williamson, Paik, Iwata, Leonard, even if we were to play him out wide, Anderson's had a great season. That being said, though, I have been very impressed by him this season. He's a very tidy footballer. He's very young still. He's only 20. And I've said this a few times throughout the season. I think that had he been in the previous Blues team, like under Bowyer or something like that, I think he would have been one of our standout players. But I hope he does well wherever he ends up next. I definitely think he'll fit well into a League One side, or maybe even a Championship team. You never know. Wrexham and Oxford are a good shout, to be fair. Particularly Oxford, because Gary Rowett's in charge, and I've always felt that he's like a proper Rowett type signing, And then Davis and Dowell, the fans definitely want them back, and, they've hardly put a foot wrong since joining. I think Dowell is a little bit more likely than Davis, because, if we're not going to keep hold of Hanley, then maybe we won't keep hold of Davis as well, what with Neumann coming in. But that being said, he's been quality for us this whole season, and he could be real good backup for us next season, and maybe even some good competition for like Neumann and Clara, particularly with the fact that currently we only have 4 centre-backs under contract, 3 if you want to count that Sanderson might leave. Dowell, for me, definitely, I would like to see him back. I think he's been fantastic for us this season. He's got championship experience, he's a very tidy footballer, and definitely one of our standout players this season. I think we could see that perhaps happen within the next couple of weeks or something like that. And fingers crossed Davis will join too. I've been a massive fan of his all season, so fingers crossed he'll come back. And then Phil Neumann, who will officially join the club on July 1st. He signed a pre-contract agreement back in January. He's 6'3", he's 27, he's played 33 times for Hanover this season, scored twice, and also no injuries at all, which I think is a really good sign considering that the Championship is going to be a real tough division, Compared to the Bundesliga too, there's only 18 teams there and there's 24 in the Championship. The length of the season and, the opposition that you face sometimes as well. As we well know from being in that division for such a long time, there's some hard teams to play against, and he might be surprised by that next season, but I'm liking what I'm hearing from him, He looks a beast, to be honest. I'm expecting big things from him, He looks absolutely rapid from everything that I've seen of him. And he's also joined on a free, so well done to the recruitment team on that. You've got a proper deal there. Alongside Clara as well. I'm scared of that back two, and they're on my team. I also must remember to pronounce it as Neumann, not as Newman, because it's like Manuel Neuer, not Neuer. Alphonse Samsted is also joining on a permanent deal following his loan spell from FC20. Probably don't expect to see much of him next season, but been impressed with him, thought he's a really good player. Seems like a great guy too. Strangely, I saw him come out of, actually saw him on the way out of the Blues Barnsley 6-2 game, and his girlfriend waved at me, or whoever it is, she waved at me, whilst I was sneaking a bottle of wine out. What? I didn't say that. And then Lucas Jukovic is obviously retired. 9 years, 358 appearances, club legend. It's great that he's sticking around too, it's going to be weird not having Jukovic on the team sheet and everything, but it's also going to be weird that he's not going to be our number 10 next season as well, so whoever gets that number, he's got big boots to fill. Then on to a few of the youngsters. So Zaid Bateka signed his first professional contract the other day, while the club has also offered first-year professional contracts to 9 other second-year scholars, details of which will be confirmed during the close season. If someone can fill me in what that means, I'm not entirely sure. 10 young professionals have also been released, one of them of which is Junior Dixon. I think the thing is with the youngsters is that coming through in previous seasons, we really needed them. But I just think now, though, with the amount of money that we have and the real demand that the owners have for us to be successful and to win games, I just think it's unlikely that they're going to really see any progression at the moment, really. Because I think they've got to be real top quality in order to get some game time or even break through to the first team nowadays. Because United, they want us back in the Premier League. They want quality players now in order for that to happen. So I'll flash this up on the screen, the following players that are currently under contract. I was looking at it on the website, and they sort of alphabetized this in just one big list. It just made us look like we've got no players left. But even when I put them into the numbers list, in my opinion, we still need more players. Couple of centre-backs, you know, I mean, we're linked with Davis, so I think that could be one of the options. Some wingers as well, you know, we're linked with Poku, so that could be another option. We're good for central midfielders, in my opinion. We're linked with Fujimoto as well, so if we get him, then I think we're fine with that. A few strikers maybe as well. I like Dykes, but I just think with the injury he's got, I think we need someone who's going to be fit, ready for the season, you know. But fingers crossed he recovers soon, you know. I've been a fan of his this season, considering that I never really knew what he was about in previous seasons when I saw him for QPR and everyone. We also have Alfie May and Jay Stansfield as well. But I think we need one more big striker, really. You know, someone like a prime Duke type, you know, someone along those lines, you know what I mean? I think Jay could really fly next season if he had that type of striker to play off, because we all know with Adams as well, like, when we had Adams, he sort of really came into his own with Jukovic alongside him. And also as well, I think it would take a lot of the pressure off of Jay as well, because the thing is with Jay, compared to Adams, is that Adams became the star. He scores 22 goals, everyone's then, you know, raving about him. But whereas Jay's come into the club as the star, you know, like we're expecting big things from him and the media is expecting massive things from him as well. But yeah, we'll wait and see what becomes of the squad. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. We'll be bringing loads more of these videos over the summer. So be sure to like the video and let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching and keep right on.